If you think going to prison is a bad thing, you may want to think again. Well, sort of. While prison is a place for the world's worst criminals, some prisons may be more luxurious than your own home. Here are some of the world's most luxurious prisons that only the rich can afford. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos. ChampDoyon Prison is in Switzerland, a country that is somewhat well known for its relaxed prison system. This prison is a farm and all the inmates are required to work on the farm daily. However, they're still allowed free time in which they can ride horses, go fishing, and play tennis. They're even allowed to go cross-country skiing if they want. The main goal of this prison is to put the inmates to work and donate the fruits or vegetables of their labor to the greater good of the community. They help grow crops and then gather the harvest once the food is grown. These plants are then donated to local charitable organizations such as orphanages or food drives. Anything left over is sold and the funds go to the local government. Each of the prisoners is allowed to have their private cottage where they eat fancy dinners prepared by a gourmet chef and are allowed to enjoy a sauna or spa after a hard day's work. Cebu Prison is known worldwide for its strange means of rehabilitating its prisoners through synchronized dance exercises. The prisoners seem to be okay with this and they become such skilled dancers that guards begin to film their exercises and post them online. These dances have gone viral several times, with the most popular dance routine being a reimagination of Michael Jackson's Thriller.
You were scared, weren't you? I wasn't that scared. It's close to midnight.
The only issue with this idea is that many prisoners are too embarrassed to dance, though they're forced to dance regardless. This is a pretty harmless and inventive way to teach prisoners compliance. Pretty cool. Bastoy Prison, located in Norway, used to be known for being one of the worst prisons in the world. The living conditions were terrible, and many inmates began complaining that they had feared for their lives simply by being in such a dump. However, that all changed one day when the prison was granted the funds to rebuild and revitalize the interior of the establishment. The prison was originally dramatically overcrowded, so much so that it began causing disease outbreaks that threatened the lives of many inmates. Because of this, part of the funds that were granted was used to expand the prison to fit an extra 100 inmates so that they had more room to branch out. The new renovations cost over $40 million to complete, but the prison is now said to be incredibly luxurious and comfortable for its inmates. Could you imagine trying to operate a prison while a major renovation has taken place and inmates are looking for ways to escape nearly every second of the day? This sounds like a total mess, but at least the living conditions have been substantially improved and the inmates are no longer a health risk. Haulin Prison, located in Norway, is what many consider to be a joke, as it's hardly a prison at all. Most prisons or jails are heavily guarded by security who are both armed and ready to pounce. However, this prison has no weapons, armed guards, or even barbed wire surrounding it. Haulin has been heavily criticized in the past for being far too lenient towards its tenants, but little has been done to change that. The prison has virtually no means of security, so it's unclear what would take place if a fight or even a riot broke out. The guards are not allowed to carry weapons as management claims that this evokes feelings of intimidation and social distancing for the prisoners. While many of us would agree that this is exactly what the purpose of a prison is, Haulin disagrees. They encourage the guards to become friends with the prisoners and to engage with them in any way possible. The main goal of this prison is to create an atmosphere of community that will outlast the time that the prisoners spend behind the walls. The prison was built years ago and cost around $252 million to create. It houses many incredible violent offenders, such as murderers and other disturbing individuals. Each prisoner has a cell that is equipped with a television, a refrigerator, designer furniture, and windows that have no bars or wires on them. If the prisoner truly wanted to, they could break the window and set themselves free. However, these prisoners have no intention of leaving any day soon. After all, why would they? Solentuna Prison is located in Sweden and is another prison that offers inmates better lives than local civilians. This prison is known for its top-of-the-line luxury beds that allow inmates to receive an excellent night's sleep, much better than the cots that are available in most other prisons. They never have to worry about being taken advantage of while taking a shower either, as each of their rooms is equipped with a private bathing area. A gym is located on site so inmates can stay in shape. There's also a fancy kitchen that's equipped with all of the essentials so that prisoners can cook their meals if they choose to do so. Many of the cells even contain a sofa or a recliner chair so that prisoners can relax and watch television at the end of a long and stress-free day. Addywell Prison opened in Scotland and claimed to be a prison based around educating its inmates for a better life in the outside world. The prison aims to teach inmates about how they made poor decisions and ended up behind bars, as well as teaching them social skills to avoid making the same mistake twice. This is supposed to help teach the inmates how they can live better lives once they leave the prison and ensure that they're adequate members of society. However, this casual approach to prisoner rehabilitation proved to be useless, and this prison became quickly the most violent prison in Scotland only a few months after it opened. For a brief time, though, this prison was very casual and comfortable for its inmates. Lyoba Justice Center is located in Austria and may be the most casual prison on this list. So much so that the inmates are even allowed to bring their clothes with them upon being booked. The leader of this prison says that he works to rehabilitate his inmates, but wants to maintain their dignity and sense of self while behind bars. They're each given a kitchenette and personal bathroom, as well as luxury furniture in each of the cells. Pondok Bamboo Prison is located in Indonesia and caused public outrage once the public became aware of the lavish living conditions of the inmates. A young woman was imprisoned here and had left the prison to have plastic surgery. Upon inspection of her cell, they found that she had an LCD television, an air conditioner, a sofa, and a nice bed. Other prisoners were found to have internet access, karaoke machines, microwaves, and one inmate had a carpet custom installed in his cell. Others had refrigerators and even a home theater system with wall-mounted speakers. It's unclear if the prison was ever modified after the public outcry for change, but this may have been one of the fanciest prisons in existence a few years ago. If you were going to be handed a life term, this is certainly the place you'd want to be. West Prison is incredibly unique, as it allows families to share cells, sort of. If a mother or father is a single parent and wishes to bring a newborn child to their cell with them, they'll be given a specialized cell that is equipped for a small child. The child can remain in prison until they become 2 years old, and then they're forced to return to life in the outside world. The idea behind this is to help parents form bonds with their newborns and give them a sense of purpose while in prison. They learn how to be a parent so that they can resume a normal life once their term is ended. The Cordillera Jail is considered to be one of the most comfortable prisons to ever have been built. Prisoners have been raving about this jail for many years, and with good reasons. Widely considered to be the most relaxed jail in the world, Cordillera is said to have many amenities that those living nearby don't have in their own homes. This jail had tennis courts, barbecue grills that could be used by prisoners, swimming pools, and private bathrooms in each of the cells. However, cells isn't an accurate word to use here, as many of the cells that prisoners were locked in were considered cabins by the guards. This is very likely to be one of the coziest prisons to ever have been built, and spending a night in this building is certainly tempting. The inmates in the area were heavily criticized by the local community of Chile, as their living conditions were far greater than the conditions of many nearby homeowners. This jail was eventually shut down due to issues with guards. One of the prisoners said that the guards were paid to do nothing, and that they would let prisoners do whatever they wanted. Allegedly, this issue was investigated and found to be true. The prison was shut down a short while later and left vacant. However, the most disturbing part about this prison is that it wasn't used to house inmates who had simple misdemeanors or other minor offenses. Rather, it was considered to be a high-security prison that was exclusively built for violent criminals that had committed acts of torture or